Let's start out with a basic sentence in Latin. Amicus Marcum salutat. The friend greets Marcus. We have our subject, amicus, in the nominative case, and you can tell that because of the us ending. While the direct object, Marcum, the word that receives the action, is in the accusative case. And finally, the verb, the action, comes at the end of the sentence as tends to happen in Latin. With these three important functions, the subject nominative, the object accusative, and the verb, you can read quite a bit of Latin, and that's how vital these three pieces are. But what if you had more than one friend and all of them end up greeting Marcus? Or if several girls walk to the forum? This video will tell you how to make a Latin sentence with a third-person plural subject. To do this, we have to remember a few things. The first is that the ending of the noun changes based on its grammar. When the noun is the subject of the verb, it's in the nominative case, and here we have puella, the first declension, amicus, second declension, and leo in the third declension. These are the nominative forms for the singular. In order to have a plural subject, we need to put on the nominative plural ending for these words. Next, do you remember that the verb in Latin changes its ending based on who the subject is? So let's take a word like I walk, ego ambulo. You walk is tu ambulas, and the friend walks is amicus ambulat. The OST ending has to agree with the subject of the sentence. If I, ego, is doing the action, the verb ends in an O. If you, tu, the verb ends in an S. And if a he, she, or a name, or a person, or a term like amicus, then the verb ends in a T. But these OST endings are only used for the singular. So we have to do two things with our sentence. We need to put our subject in the nominative plural, and we need to give our verb the third-person plural ending. First, the nominative plural. For first declension nouns, the nominative plural is an I, an AE, pronounced I, which gives us puellae. For second declension nouns, the nominative plural ending is an E, a long I, pronounced E, which gives us amici. And for third declension nouns, the nominative plural ending is an es, a long es, ace, which gives us leones, and we have to add that N to leo. If we're going to have a plural third-person subject like friends, amici, or girls, puellae, or lions, leones, then the verb has to be in the third-person plural too. And the verb ending is an nt. So you really just take the third-person singular and put an N before the T. Salutat goes to salutant, monet to monent, and some verbs have a U in the third-person plural. So ducit becomes ducunt, and audit becomes audiunt. I'm not going to go into the specifics of the conjugation of verbs. Feel free to check out my video on the present tense for more information about this. At this point in Latin, you should be able to recognize that the verb is plural because of the nt, unt, ending. And that will go along with the plural subject, like amici laudant, puellae monent, and leones audiunt. And one more verb. The plural of est is sunt. So you would say in the singular, puella est pulchra, the girl is pretty. But in the plural, puellae, that's our nominative plural, sunt pulchrae, again, nominative plural. Marcus est amicus, Marcus is my friend, but Marcus et Brutus sunt amici, Marcus and Brutus are friends. So let's practice that. Our singular sentence is femina servum laudat, the woman praises the slave. To plural it, we make femina feminae, and that's the nominative plural form, and laudat laudant. Remember, if the subject is plural, the verb is also plural. Feminae servum laudant. The women praise the slave. So keep these things in mind. The verb must agree with the subject in number. If the subject is plural, the verb will also be plural. The nominative plural endings are I for the first declension, E for the second declension, and ace for the third declension. And finally, the third-person plural ending for verbs is an unt, an N, and a T.